I'm not wrong, all right. Micah Jeffries.
All right, how we doing?
Yay!
Oh, jeez, I almost smacked myself in the face, huh? Yeah, that'd be the way to start. Let's do this. Jack, you talking about Mountain Dew, drinking Mountain Dew? I recently had the alcoholic Mountain Dew. I don't know if anyone's tried this. Fucking awful. It is terrible. Like, it reminded me of like putting an off-brand Mountain Dew in your mouth and then sniffing rubbing alcohol. Like, it was truly terrible. And it blew my mind because, like, how do you fuck that up, right? Like, teenagers have been mixing alcohol and Mountain Dew for many, many years. Very successfully, I might add. And, like, how do you fuck that up? Like, you had the easiest job in the world. I don't get it. I don't drink all that much. I'm a big stoner. I'm a big smoker. Anybody enjoy the marijuanas in here? I know, right? It's weird to me now because, like, back in the day, it used to just be don't drink and drive. That was the big thing, right? And now that marijuana is becoming legal, they're like mixing it in, and so instead of don't drink and drive, you hear if you feel different, you drive different. I don't know. I don't like them mixing the two together because if you've ever done driving drunk or driving high, they're very different animals, right? Like, when you drive drunk, you get this feeling like, oh, I'm invincible, you got this, bro, kind of thing. When in fact, you do not got this, bro, like, at all. You don't got this, bro, at all. And when you're high, though, you get really like paranoid, and I think that can work to your advantage, right? Like, I remember driving behind this person one day, and they pulled off in front of me, probably into their driveway, right? And my first instinct was, oh shit, they know the cops are coming. And then it was 10-2 the whole ride home, you know? Very safe. Very safe. I got a question for y'all. Do you think they had gen ed classes at Hogwarts? Right? Like, I've been rewatching these movies recently, and I still haven't got this question answered. Like, you know, gen ed classes, science, history, math shit we all took, right? Do you think they did that in Hogwarts? Because they don't say anything about it, but you kind of hope so, right? Because, like, what do you have if not? Like a bunch of superpowered morons, basically. Like, yeah, sure, Harry can conjure a Patronus, but he's also a flat earther. That's not helpful. Or if you did, like, how shitty would it be to be like the math teacher at Hogwarts? Like, how underwhelming is that, right? Like, you got all these people doing crazy stuff around you. This guy is going to teach you how to, like, fight a werewolf and a dragon, and this woman's over here is going to teach you how to make, like, a potion to bring somebody back to life and shit. And Greg over here is going to teach you the Pythagorean theorem. Like, fuck Greg. Like, we go to the lady to teach me how to fly. Like, fuck that guy. My wife and I, we were watching a scary movie recently. It's called Annabelle Creation. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's a little possessed doll movie. One of the main characters in the movie, she's this little girl. She's got polio, so as you might expect, she doesn't walk so hot, right? And throughout the movie, not to give too much away, she gets possessed by a demon. And the demon, to show that she's possessed by this demon, she starts doing things a little out of character for herself. Like, she starts cursing a lot, and she starts walking normally. And I looked at my wife, and I was like, you know, it sucks that she got possessed by that demon, right? But the demon did kind of cure her polio. Like, I don't know, you kind of got to weigh your options, I think, at that point. I mean, what's really worse, the demon or the polio? I'm just saying, I think FDR would have taken a demon if he could have walked. Made him a stronger president. I don't really watch that many scary movies myself, though, right? Like, I was too scared as a kid. I didn't watch that many. I was always watching Disney movies. I still love Disney movies. Any Disney fans here? Anyone like Disney? No. That's right. No, I like Disney because you can learn a lot from Disney movies, more than just like inherent racism. There's like real life lessons to some of those movies, guys. Like, I watched The Lion King as a kid. I learned that if you have a real big problem in your life, you can just run away from that shit until you're like bigger and stronger and ready to deal with it. Like, I watched Bug's Life as a kid, and now every time I see an ant off by himself, I think maybe he's like Flick, you know, the little inventor ant off on a quest to save the colony. And then I find myself unnecessarily killing grasshoppers. Like, really no reason, just you all are assholes. And because of The Little Mermaid now, every time I see a mute woman, I'll kiss her on the mouth. You know, just in case, right? Like, hasn't worked yet, but if eyes could talk. But I swear that movie would have been a lot shorter if you just kissed that girl. I don't know. My wife recently, she went to a thing where she met a woman from a town called Sandwich, Illinois. Which, yeah, Sandwich, Illinois. It's a fun little name. I found it adorable. I decided to Google the town and was very disheartened to find out that the high school in Sandwich, Illinois has a mascot of the Indians. Right? 2020, the Indians. Like, you got one of the coolest names of a town ever, and you can't do anything better than furthering fucking generational racism. Like, I don't get it. Because you could have been anything, right? You leave so many cool options. They could have been the Sandwich Rubens. They could have been the Sandwich Monte Cristos. They could have been the Cubans and been like, not those Cubans, but still would have been better than the Indians, I think. I've seen some Pokemon stuff around here. I haven't played too many of the most recent Pokemon games. I played that Shield and Sword, one of those. I remember playing those as a kid. I always loved them, and so after a few years off, I was really into this game, just going around trying to catch them all because I wanted to be the very best, right? And I was catching this one Pokemon. It took me like 6 or 7 tries. It was called a Phantump. I don't know if any of you are familiar. And after like 6 or 7 tries, I finally catch this thing, and I read its Pokédex, which reads, "A Phantump is created when the soul of a dead child inhabits a stump." Right? Fucking dark. And then I realized that I'd like inadvertently just been beating the hell out of these dead kids. Until finally I captured one, took it home with me, so I could fight the other dead kids. Like, good God, is this what Pokemon is now? Guys. I like being in St. Louis. You know, I was in St. Louis fairly recently. It blows my mind because you can see the arch from like miles away, and it blows my mind seeing the arch. Because like, you remember a few years ago when everybody was all up in arms about racist monuments and shit. Like, how did the arch get through any of that? Because what is the arch if not just a giant monument to manifest destiny? Like. Right, just a giant 700-foot, $13 million ode to the day some white people stood on the banks of the Mississippi, looked west, and just said all of it. Like, how the fuck is that thing not under any heat? I don't get it. I did a show in Kansas City last night. Here now. It's a lot of driving. I don't really enjoy driving that much, but I like being on Missouri roads because you get to see those MoDOT signs. Like, I kind of like the MoDOT signs, personally. I do. You know the ones that tell you, like, don't drink and drive, buckle up, put your phone down, stuff like that? I like those. I like when they integrate different holidays to them. You know, like I saw, even if you're lucky, you should buckle up around St. Patrick's Day. It's kind of cute. I like those. Right? I've seen enough of them that I've kind of come up with a few ideas of my own. Like, I think around Thanksgiving we could try something like, don't gobble your steering wheel, buckle up. Or a month earlier we could try, put your phone down or you might ghost your friends and family. Happy Halloween. I don't know, guys. But I swear, some of those get really dark, right? They start getting really morbid. they start talking about like statistics of people who've died on the roads. Like 680 people died on Missouri roads. It's like, it's 7 a.m. MoDOT. Chill out. Like, God. I saw one that was really, really dark. It said, car wrecks are the #1 killer of Missouri teens, right? Car wrecks are the #1 killer of Missouri teens. That's like heavy, right? It's almost hard to think about, but I swear, if you do think about it, like, how lucky are our teens, right? I feel like you may not want to go here with me, but strap in. Think about it, because, like, they're not dying in, like, they're not being sold into the, like, sex trade. They're not being made into child soldiers. They're not having to, like, outrun a lion to get a gallon of water for the month kind of thing. They're dying in car wrecks. It's usually their own fault, right? Like usually, yeah, it's shitty, but imagine a kid going from Missouri to the afterlife situation, meeting a kid from a third world, right? And they'd be talking about their life and eventually their deaths, and the kid from the third world say something like, I just didn't have any food or water for an extended period of time, and my body sort of shut down. And the kid from Missouri said something like, yeah, I was out on Route H, and I saw my buddy Ricky come the other way. And we kind of like play chicken when we see each other. I don't know, I guess he didn't pull off. I sure shit didn't pull off. I ain't no pussy, but anyway, I don't really know how you score chicken. We're both here, so we call it a draw. I do live in Columbia. I've lived in Columbia for 7 years. I like Columbia a lot. It's to give you an idea of what Columbia is, we just a few months ago elected a woman named Barbara Buffalo as our mayor. Like, nothing gives you a better idea of who Columbia is than Barbara Buffalo. Like, that has to be the #1 choice of all stoners who had no fucking clue who any of the actual candidates were. Just getting in there like, fuck, I'm high. Does that say Barbara Buffalo? But I hope she does well, right? Because, like, if historically, if politicians do well, they'll get things named after them in their, like, hometown or in their districts. And so if we're lucky and she does well, we'll get all these buildings in downtown Columbia with their own Barbara Buffalo wings. It's the dumbest joke I've ever written. I truly love it, you know? I'm not going to let it go like a stupid child. It's useless to society, but damn do I love it. I've lived in Columbia for a while. I came from a really small town, though, like really, really tiny, 1,300 people up in northwest Missouri in a county of less than 5,000. Very, very tiny, very remote. Give you an idea, you had to drive 30 minutes and through 2 state lines to get to the closest Walmart. Like, very, very remote. It was a cool place, though. One interesting thing about my hometown, it's the first town in America to be run solely off of wind power, which is pretty neat, right? Like, ironically, though, like 5 miles from us, right across the border in Nebraska, is the Cooper Nuclear Power Plant. Like, I don't expect much is gonna happen, but realistically, you can find maps in my hometown that show you the blast radius were something to go wrong at Cooper Nuclear Power Plant, and we'd be fucking dead. Like, we'd have enough time to go, ooh, that's pretty. We'd be fucking dead. And I don't think that's fair, guys, because, like, we're the wind power people. We shouldn't have to worrying about nuclear annihilation. Like, that'd be like the guy who rides his bike to work every day getting hit by a Tesla. Like, that's so far beyond me. It's not fair. My hometown's interesting. With it being as small as it was, you had to kind of find your own fun, right? We used to hang out at a place called Old Casey's, which, if you're wondering, is in fact a parking lot that used to be a Casey's. That was the big place. A lot of times, somebody else's fun would become your own fun inevitably. Like, we watched this guy doing burnouts after a wedding in a sweet-ass Camaro, and he looked like he was having a lot of fun. And then he lost control of it, and he hit a fire station. and we had a lot of fun. Like, that's what you had to deal with in my hometown. It's cool too, because like being how remote it was, if you had a teacher that got hired there, they could basically get away with murder and keep their job. Like, who's gonna replace him, right? Like, I watched a teacher throw a kid's phone out a second-story window one day, and no problem, kept his job. No, not a problem. I had a teacher let me take his car to McDonald's during class one day, kept his job. Not a problem. But one of my least favorite teachers I heard recently got fired, and it's for something he should have gotten fired for. You know, he was always a creep to the high school girls and would make all these awkward comments. And 13 years later, they're like, "That's enough of that, man. You get out of here." Like, and but I never really got along with this guy. You know, I never got along with him. There's always a teacher that you probably butted heads with in high school. This was definitely that guy for me. He was a very pompous dude. Whenever he handed out tests, he would put the test in front of you, shake your hand, and very disingenuously say, "Good luck." Right? I didn't care for that. I didn't care for that. And so, being a shithead 10th grader, one day I licked my hand before he got to me. Right? I'm not proud of this. I'm just saying it happened. Like, I did. And he realized it immediately. He reacted mostly how I expected, right? He got very angry. Expected. He gave me a week of detention. Yeah, sure. He went to his desk and he stewed like you do when you get all angry, just mumbling to himself. I just fucking get up. Fucking kill him. I just fucking... And then he looks up from his desk and he goes, "You know what, Micah? You could take that week of detention, or you could let me spit in your face right now." I think that's a bit of an escalation. He was a math teacher. He should have known those were not equal. I don't know. I don't know if any of you have ever pushed a teacher to the point that they're like, "You know, I'll probably go to jail for this one, but I fucking hate this kid." It's a good feeling. And now I think about it, like, God, if I let him spit in my face, that school still be paying me, guys. Like, for real. Like, I missed a fucking opportunity. And from that day on, he quit shaking hands before the test. So I think I won that situation. Just saying. That's right. I've just got a little bit more. What's my time at?
Two minutes.
All right, perfect. So, one big thing about me, if you've never seen me before, I am the son of two pastors. It's a big part of my life. Very holy. Both of my parents are pastors. My older brother is a pastor. He married a woman, also a pastor. And then there's me, right? I do this. So, as you can tell, performance art, very big in the Jeffries family. That joke, not big in the Jeffries family. But growing up with that lifestyle gave me a kind of weird view on like simple things in life, like rainbows, for example, right? Like simple things like rainbows, I have a weird view of because of my upbringing. Because like if you know the story of Noah, right? God killed everybody on the earth except for Noah, his family, and their pets, right? Noah? I don't think I'm making this up, guys. Noah? And then afterwards, he sent a rainbow to be like, maybe that was an overkill. My bad, guys. I'll never do that again. But now every time I see a rainbow, it feels like a big flex from God, right? He's just up there like, you know, I could kill you all again. But when I was a kid, I used to go to vacation Bible school and like after school programs, right? And I went to little kids choir classes, and they taught us little children's songs. And that's one of these children's songs is taught us a little bit of sign language. It's where I learned that Jesus in sign language is to tap your palms. Yeah, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Doesn't that seem mocking? Just a little bit? Like, what are we doing, making fun of the nails? Like, imagine this dude just coming back and seeing a crowd of people like, Jesus. Like, fuck you guys, I'm going back. Like, that just seems very mocking. I don't know who makes ASL words, but I feel like they would make JFK. Alright, guys, my name's Micah Jeffries. I have some stickers, comedy stickers. If you'd like one, see me after the show. I would love some gas money, but I will just give you one. Give it up for Tom!
Hey, Micah Jeffries, everyone! All